I'm Rob Murray, I'm a tenor. There are various challenging vocal lines which are very enjoyable, but actually the celebration of the Sanctus with the children's choir combined with everyone else, I think it's so glorious, that juxtaposition where he has this epic scale and then the camera moves right in and we hear the children singing. I think that, and the changes of mood, the swift changes between the Hosanna and the contemplative Sanctus at the same time, I think it's a really great construction. I hadn't heard any Grace Williams before. I did know of her and I knew of this piece because some of my friends performed it in 2016 with the orchestra. So I've been really grateful to come across it. I feel like she's a fascinating sort of composer. And you know, when you hear a new composer, or not a new composer, when a composer is new to you, of course you listen to the influences and try and place it and try and understand it. But it's an entirely unique voice. But given that I sing a lot of Britain, I sing a lot of Rowan Williams, it's really interesting. Vaughan Williams was her teacher, Britain was her friend and mentor, and the threads of that sort of pastoral line and then that sort of kind of human frailty and strength that you get from Britain is combined with a sort of Celtic spirit. So I feel like I do understand her voice very well, the beginning of the masses, and it's no detriment because she was clearly a friend, but you hear the beginning of the War Requiem, and you know, the bells come in later, but if the bells were at the beginning it would almost be exactly the same. And I think what's interesting about that is because the is actually why is it similar, what's it about? And I think it's about that frailty, the doubt, and the mysterious sort of nature of faith and what we bring to it. So I think she's entirely unique, but I love that she's brought in all these influences. Yeah, what an extraordinary privilege to hear him say those Beatitudes in Welsh. It was beautiful. I think there's two things there, isn't there? It's the faith side of it, and having such a pillar of faith in the room is a real touchstone for all of us. But also, actually, and because I'm not Welsh, to hear that text in Welsh reminded me where I was, and I think it is a piece of this land, of this country, of this soul. So I think, yeah, it was a real sort of eye-opener, thinking, well, I'm in the Millennium Centre in Cardiff. Rowan Williams is saying the Beatitudes in Welsh. You know, Cum Ronda wasn't yet sung, but it felt like, you know, we're here to do this thing. It's just wonderful. This is an epic work, full of soul, full of sort of interesting communication. I mean, I find it sort of, if there's some doubt at the beginning about the prayer itself, I think some of the strength of feeling, or agnosticism, some of the faith that comes later feels more true, and yet we get this Gloria straight after the Kyrie, which is almost ironic in its brilliance. It's sort of, I wonder if it's a send-up, but then it's so glorious at the same time, and you think that's the celebration that she wants to have. And I think, you know, just putting it in context of faith and everything, it's interesting anyway. Listening to the style is interesting, but putting these forces together in this fantastic piece is, well, it's an incredible luxury for me to be involved in. But also, I do understand why it's not done so much, because there are so many of us involved, and also so many of us involved at the same time throughout the piece. It's a very difficult business putting these things on, and we're just so grateful to sing it. So I really hope, you know, there are organisations that understand it's worth giving this the time, because it's a celebration piece. It's one of those, a Verdi Requiem or War Requiem. It's the sort of thing that more people need to use, you know, as an important work in their year, if they can. It's brilliant, challenging, beautiful, difficult in all the right ways, but also it has a very clear message throughout.